Before you begin listening to this book, we kindly ask you to subscribe to our channel. Your support enables us to continue uploading more books for avid readers. Law of Karma, The Echo of Your Actions. Written by Atia Shahana. Audiobook by ReadRealm. Introduction. Have you ever wondered why certain patterns keep repeating in your life? Or why some people seem to attract good fortune while others constantly struggle? At the heart of these mysteries lies an ancient and universal principle, karma. Often misunderstood as simple reward or punishment, karma is far more profound. It is the echo of your actions, a subtle yet powerful force that shapes your experiences, relationships, and even the direction of your destiny. In today's fast-paced and often disconnected world, the wisdom of karma offers clarity and grounding. We live in an age where every decision, no matter how small, carries a ripple effect, not just for us but for those around us. Our thoughts, words, and actions are not isolated. They contribute to the energy we send into the world, and in return, that same energy comes back to us, sometimes immediately, sometimes later, but always with precision. Understanding the law of karma is not about fearing consequences. It's about becoming conscious creators of our lives. When we realize that our present is a reflection of our past actions, we also awaken to the incredible power we hold to shape our future. Karma teaches us responsibility, compassion, patience, and ultimately, freedom. This book is your guide to unraveling the true nature of karma, not as a religious idea, but as a life principle that applies to everyone regardless of background or belief. We'll explore how karma works, the role of intention, the different types of karma, and how to free ourselves from harmful cycles. You'll learn how to cultivate positive karma through awareness, integrity, and mindful living. Law of Karma. The echo of your actions invites you to walk a path of deeper understanding. Whether you're facing challenges or seeking a more meaningful life, this book will show you how to align your actions with the energy you wish to receive. The power to transform your life is already within you, and karma is the key. Chapter 1. Understanding Karma. Karma is a word we hear often, sometimes in a casual tone, sometimes in a spiritual context. What goes around comes around, people say. But karma is more than a popular saying. It is a profound principle that governs the unseen mechanics of our lives. At its core, karma is simple. It is the law of cause and effect. Every thought, word, and action we put into the world sets something in motion, and eventually that energy returns to us. What is karma? Karma originates from ancient Eastern philosophies, primarily Hinduism and Buddhism, but its wisdom has transcended cultural boundaries. The word karma comes from the Sanskrit root kri, meaning to do or to act. In this sense, karma is not just a force, but the very act itself, what we do, say, or even think. In Hinduism, karma is seen as the invisible thread linking our actions to their outcomes, stretching even across lifetimes. In Buddhism, karma works similarly, but places greater emphasis on intention and mindfulness in action. Jainism, Sikhism, and other traditions also interpret karma with unique nuances, yet they all agree on the same foundational truth. We create our future through our present actions. The law of cause and effect. Karma is often referred to as the moral law of cause and effect. It teaches that every action, big or small, has a consequence. These consequences may not always be immediate or obvious, but they are inevitable. Plant kindness, and kindness will eventually bloom. Sow deceit, and you will harvest mistrust. Importantly, karma does not operate like punishment or reward from an external judge. It is not fate, nor is it destiny handed down from above. It is an organic, self-sustaining system of balance. Just as dropping a stone in water causes ripples, our actions send vibrations into the universe, which inevitably return. Karma's role in personal growth. Understanding karma empowers us to become conscious participants in our own lives. When we know that our choices create our reality, we stop blaming others and begin taking responsibility. Karma becomes a mirror, a tool for self-awareness and personal evolution. Each experience, whether joyful or painful, carries a lesson. Karma nudges us toward growth, offering chances to make better decisions and break free from limiting patterns. When we face challenges, we can ask, "What can I learn from this?" rather than, "Why is this happening to me?" Karma reminds us that our present circumstances are shaped by our past, but more importantly, that our future is being written by our actions today. Misconceptions about karma. One of the biggest misconceptions is that karma is simply punishment for bad deeds. This idea paints karma as something to fear, which is far from the truth. Karma is neutral. It doesn't punish or reward. It simply reflects. If you touch fire, you get burned. Not because fire wants to hurt you, but because that's its nature. Karma works the same way. Another myth is that karma is instant. While some actions do yield quick results, others unfold over time or even across lifetimes, according to traditional belief. We may not always see the connection between our actions and outcomes, but that doesn't mean the connection doesn't exist. Some also believe that karma is rigid and unforgiving. In reality, karma is flexible and ever-changing. We are not trapped by our past. With conscious effort, we can create new karmic paths and transform our lives. Key terms to remember: cause and effect. Every action, cause, produces a reaction, effect, which may manifest immediately or later. Intention, the motivation behind an action, plays a major role in its karmic value. Doing something good with selfish motives may have a different impact than doing it with pure intent. Action, not just physical deeds, but also words and thoughts, all contribute to our karma. Consequence, the result of our actions, whether emotional, material or spiritual. Cycle. Karma works in cycles. What we do today eventually circles back, forming patterns that either uplift or bind us. In the next chapter, we'll explore the different types of karma, how past, present, and future actions interact, and how understanding this cycle can bring clarity to your life journey. Remember, karma is not a prison. It's a path, a reflection of your power to shape your reality. Chapter 2. The Origins of Karma. To truly understand karma, we must trace its roots back to the ancient traditions that gave it meaning. Karma didn't arise from one place or one faith. It evolved across multiple belief systems, deeply woven into the spiritual and moral fabric of Eastern philosophies. At its core, karma expresses a universal truth. Every action has a consequence. This idea has echoed through time, culture, and even modern science, suggesting that karma may be less of a religious concept and more of a universal law, historical and religious roots. Karma finds its earliest expressions in the ancient texts of Hinduism, where it is closely tied to the concept of dharma, or righteous duty. In Hindu belief, every soul is on a journey across many lifetimes, and karma determines the quality of each birth and experience. If one lives in harmony with dharma, they generate positive karma and move closer to moksha, or liberation from the cycle of reincarnation, samsara. Karma here is not just law, it's cosmic justice, part of a divine system that keeps the universe in balance. Buddhism builds on similar principles, emphasizing intention over mere action. According to the Buddha, it's not just what you do, but why you do it that shapes your karma. A kind act with selfish motives may not carry the same weight as a small gesture done with genuine compassion. Karma in Buddhism serves as a guide for ethical living and spiritual growth, part of the eightfold path that leads to enlightenment. Jainism, another ancient Indian tradition, views karma as a kind of subtle matter that binds to the soul. Every action, mental, verbal, or physical, leaves a trace that clings to the spirit, influencing its purity. Liberation in Jainism comes when one sheds all karmic residue through strict discipline, non-violence, and truthfulness. Karma in other cultures. Though the word karma is specific to Eastern traditions, the idea is not. In the West, similar principles appear in different forms. The saying "what goes around comes around" mirrors the essence of karma. The golden rule, do unto others as you would have them do unto you, expresses a belief in moral reciprocity. Christianity, Islam, and Judaism also emphasize accountability and the idea that our actions are weighed, judged, and rewarded or punished, either in this life or the next. Though these traditions may not describe karma in the same terms, the underlying message is strikingly similar. Our choices shape our lives and influence the world around us. Karma in modern philosophy and science. In more recent times, modern psychology has begun to align with karmic principles. Behavioral science shows that habits, attitudes, and intentions can lead to predictable patterns in a person's life. Cognitive behavioral therapy, for instance, reveals how negative thinking can reinforce suffering, while mindful actions can promote healing and growth. Echoes of karma in psychological terms. Some even draw connections between karma and quantum physics, suggesting that every particle, every movement in the universe is part of a larger interconnected web. While not scientifically identical to karma, the idea of universal consciousness and cosmic law points toward a deep intelligence at play in the universe, an invisible structure that responds to our input with precision. Understanding the origins of karma helps us see that it is not just an ancient belief, but a timeless guide for conscious living. In the next chapter, we'll explore the different types of karma and how they operate across time, shaping not only your present, but also your past and future. Chapter 3. The Mechanics of Karma. Karma is not just a mystical idea or a distant cosmic judgment. It's a living process that shapes our lives through the choices we make, consciously or unconsciously. To understand how karma truly works, we must go beyond the simple idea of good or bad and explore the deeper mechanisms that keep this universal law in motion. At the heart of karma lies intention, free will, and the awareness we bring to our everyday actions. Karma and intention. Intentions are the unseen seeds of our actions. Before we speak, move, or make a decision, there is a spark of intent behind it. In the karmic system, intention is not just important, it's everything. A kind word spoken out of genuine care carries a different karmic weight than one said to manipulate or gain favor. Think of intention as the emotional and energetic force that drives your action. You may do the same thing in two different ways, and yet the karma created will differ, because what matters is the why. This is why in traditions like Buddhism, great emphasis is placed on mindfulness. Being present to your intentions ensures that your karma is clean, conscious, and constructive. Types of karma. Karma doesn't operate only in the moment. It stretches across time, past, present, and future. In ancient Indian philosophy, karma is often divided into three types. Sanchita karma. This is the accumulated karma from all past lives. It's like a spiritual storage bank, holding the sum of all your past actions, good and bad. While you may not be actively aware of it, this karma exists in the background, influencing your tendencies, situations, and personality. Prarabdha karma. This is the portion of your past karma that has ripened and is currently playing out in your life. Your current circumstances, your family, environment, challenges, and even blessings are shaped by this form of karma. It's what life hands you now based on the past. Agami karma. This is the karma you are creating in the present that will bear fruit in the future. Every decision you make now feeds into this stream, shaping your destiny going forward. This is where your power lies, in the actions and intentions you choose today. Karma and free will. One of the most powerful aspects of karma is that it doesn't negate free will. It invites it. While some parts of your life may be influenced by prarabdha karma, how you respond to them is up to you. This is where free will enters the picture. We are not prisoners of fate. Even if life places certain events or difficulties in your path, you always have a choice in how to meet them. Your response becomes your agami karma, influencing what comes next. In this way, karma is not a rigid system of rewards and punishments, but a dynamic process where your conscious effort plays a central role, the role of awareness. Awareness is the guiding light in the journey of karma. When you move through life unconsciously, you may repeat harmful patterns, act out of fear or ego and create negative karma without even realizing it. But when you become aware of your thoughts, your words, your motives, you gain the power to shift your karmic direction. Awareness helps you pause before reacting, reflect before speaking, and act from a place of integrity and love, rather than impulse or habit. The more aware you become, the more aligned your intentions are with your higher self, and the more positively your karma will unfold. Karma, then, is not just something that happens to us. It's something we co-create, moment by moment, through intention, choice, and presence. Chapter 4. The Ripple Effect of Actions. Have you ever tossed a stone into a still pond and watched the ripples spread far beyond where the stone landed? Our actions, thoughts, and words work in much the same way. They create invisible ripples in the vast ocean of life, touching people and places in ways we often can't imagine. This is the ripple effect of karma, a quiet echo of our intentions that travels outward, returning to us over time. The echo of your actions. Every action, whether it's a kind gesture, a harsh word, a decision made in anger, or one made in love, has a frequency. That frequency doesn't just stop with the act itself. It reverberates through the lives of others and eventually circles back to us. This is why karma is often referred to as a cycle. It doesn't end with the act. It continues its journey until the energy has been received, processed, and often returned. You may not see the immediate outcome of what you do, but rest assured, the energy you send out comes back, sometimes in unexpected ways, and often multiplied. A smile offered in sincerity may uplift someone's entire day, while a careless insult might linger in someone's heart for years. That is the subtle, powerful nature of karma. Karma and relationships. Our relationships are one of the most fertile grounds for karma to unfold. Whether it's our family, romantic partners, friends, or co-workers, each relationship carries its own karmic weight. Often, we are drawn to people with whom we have unfinished karmic business. These interactions may feel intense, challenging, or deeply comforting for a reason. Karma in relationships shows up in patterns, the kind of people we attract, the lessons we keep repeating, or the dynamics we can't seem to escape. Sometimes unresolved karma from the past finds its way into our current relationships, offering a chance for healing, forgiveness, or personal growth. By becoming aware of the karmic ties in our relationships, we can break toxic cycles and create healthier, more fulfilling bonds. Whether it's setting boundaries, forgiving someone who hurt you, or learning to love without expectation, each step you take in alignment with love and clarity transforms the karma you share with others. The impact of negative actions. It's easy to overlook the effects of negative behavior, especially when the consequences don't appear immediately. But negativity, like positivity, resonates deeply in the karmic field. Anger, deceit, manipulation, and selfishness plant seeds that will eventually bear fruit, sometimes in the form of stress, loss, or repeated challenges. Think of it like this. Negative energy doesn't disappear. It lingers and looks for a way to express itself back into your life. When you intentionally harm someone, whether emotionally or physically, you're creating an imbalance. Karma, being a law of balance, seeks to restore that equilibrium. This may come in ways that force you to face the pain you once caused, either through personal loss, strained relationships, or emotional turbulence. The impact of positive actions. Thankfully, the law of karma is just as responsive to good deeds. Acts of kindness, generosity, empathy, and truthfulness may seem small, but they hold tremendous power. These actions create a positive resonance, not only in your life, but in the lives of others. Often, the rewards are subtle, a sense of peace, deeper relationships, unexpected help when you need it most, or opportunities that seem to appear out of nowhere. But here's the beauty of positive karma. It builds. Over time, a life lived with compassion and intention becomes rich with fulfillment. Even when things go wrong, the energy you've cultivated through positive action often serves as a protective field, helping you navigate difficulties with more ease and strength. Understanding the ripple effect of your actions is one of the most empowering aspects of living a karmic aware life. It reminds us that nothing we do is too small to matter, and that with conscious effort, we can shape our relationships, communities, and lives in a deeply meaningful way. Chapter 5. The Threefold Return: Understanding Consequences. One of the most fascinating ideas within the law of karma is the principle of the threefold return, the belief that whatever energy you put into the world, whether positive or negative, returns to you 3 times over. This isn't necessarily about strict arithmetic, but about energetic amplification. In simple terms, your actions echo back, not once, but with a multiplied force. The kindness you show can blossom into blessings. The harm you cause can ripple back in unforeseen, intensified ways. This chapter invites you to reflect deeply on the magnitude of your choices. The universe is always listening, responding not just to what you do, but why you do it. The concept of threefold return. The threefold return is often linked with spiritual and metaphysical teachings, particularly in Wicca and Eastern traditions, though similar sentiments exist across many cultures. It suggests that your deeds come back to you 3 times stronger, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. Whether it's a kind word, a selfless act, a moment of betrayal, or a flash of anger, that energy doesn't just vanish. It's mirrored back into your life in ways that demand attention. But why threefold? One way to look at it is through the lens of depth. Your action doesn't just affect the surface, it penetrates your emotional state, your life circumstances, and your soul's journey. The universe, in its expansive wisdom, reflects the entirety of your intent back to you, not to punish or reward, but to teach and guide. Immediate, delayed, and karmic rewards. Karma works on its own timeline. Some consequences are immediate. You lie and you're instantly caught. Others are delayed. You helped someone years ago, and now a door unexpectedly opens for you. Then there are those that play out over lifetimes, karmic cycles that return when your soul is ready to learn a lesson it once overlooked. Immediate karma is the simplest to understand. It's the instant feedback we receive, like burning your hand after touching something you shouldn't. It's powerful but rare in its clarity. Delayed karma teaches patience and mindfulness. Perhaps you forgave someone without expecting anything. In return, and years later, someone else shows you that same grace. The loop may be long, but it's always closing. Karmic rewards or consequences. Across lifetimes stem from deeply ingrained patterns. These could be our gifts, challenges, or recurring relationship themes. They're not always easy to trace, but they carry profound significance. What feels like bad luck may actually be the echo of a lesson your soul is revisiting. Karma's timing, beyond the clock. We live in a fast-paced world where we expect instant results, instant food, instant messages, instant gratification. But karma doesn't run on a 24-hour clock. It follows a spiritual rhythm beyond our linear sense of time. The right conditions must align for karma to manifest. Sometimes that means years. Other times, lifetimes. This delay can be frustrating. Why do good people suffer? Why do those who harm others seem to succeed? The truth is, we're only ever seeing a small piece of a much larger puzzle. Karma is not a quick reaction. It's a slow unfolding of truth. The energy always returns, but it returns when its lessons can be most deeply felt and understood. Case studies, living the threefold return. Let's look at a few real-world examples that illustrate this principle. Teacher once mentored a struggling student without any personal gain. Years later, after losing her job and self-esteem, she received a surprise offer to lead an educational project, proposed by that same student, now in a position of influence. Her kindness returned in the form of dignity and purpose, multiplied. Businessman built his success through manipulation and dishonesty. For years he appeared untouchable, but eventually his empire crumbled due to legal and personal scandals. The betrayal he once sowed returned to him, professionally, socially, and emotionally. A woman forgave a friend who deeply hurt her, choosing peace over revenge. At a time when she hit rock bottom, She found herself surrounded by supportive relationships and unexpected opportunities. Her forgiveness came back to her as emotional strength and social support, threefold. Understanding the threefold return isn't just about being cautious, it's about becoming conscious. When you realize your energy comes back with interest, you start to plant seeds more intentionally, more lovingly, more wisely. You begin to live with reverence for the sacred law that echoes every one of your actions. Chapter 6. The Role of Compassion and Forgiveness in Karma. Karma isn't just about what we do, it's also about how we do it, and the energy we carry in our hearts while doing it. At its core, karma is deeply connected to compassion, forgiveness, and empathy. These are not just soft virtues, they are powerful forces that shape the outcomes of our lives. They don't just create good karma, they help release us from cycles of negativity and pain. When we act with compassion, we send ripples of healing into the world. When we choose to forgive others and ourselves, we unshackle ourselves from the weight of resentment. This chapter explores how these emotional and spiritual practices influence our karmic journey and open the door to inner peace and transformation. Compassion as a positive action. Compassion is more than just feeling sorry for someone. It's the desire to alleviate suffering and act with kindness. In the law of karma, compassion is considered a high vibrational action that plants seeds of love and understanding. It's one of the most powerful ways to generate positive karma. Every time we help someone without expecting anything in return, listen with a full heart, or offer support in someone's darkest hour, we engage in an act of deep significance. Compassion doesn't just help others, it changes us, it softens the ego, opens the heart, and aligns our energy with the greater good. And because of karma's cyclic nature, that goodness will return. Maybe not always in obvious ways, but always in meaningful ones. Forgiveness and releasing negative karma. Forgiveness can be one of the most difficult things we do, but also one of the most freeing. Holding on to anger, grudges, or guilt is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer. Negative emotions anchor us to painful karma, keeping old wounds alive and spinning. By choosing forgiveness, we cut the cord. We release ourselves from the emotional chains that keep past pain active in our lives. This doesn't mean forgetting or excusing hurtful behavior. It means saying, I choose peace over pain. I let go so I can move forward. And let's not forget the importance of self-forgiveness. Many of us carry heavy burdens from past mistakes, unable to forgive ourselves. This self-judgment feeds negative self-karma, which shows up as self-sabotage, low self-worth, or blocked growth. When we forgive ourselves, we open the path to healing and step into a new cycle of compassion toward our own soul. Karma, empathy, and connection. Empathy is the bridge between understanding and action. When we empathize with others, we align ourselves with their human experience. We step out of judgment and into connection. In karmic terms, empathy is a sacred tool. It allows us to respond to others with heart-centered awareness, reducing harmful actions and increasing thoughtful ones. Empathy doesn't just prevent negative karma, it actively generates positive energy. When we truly see and feel for someone else, we're more likely to act with integrity, patience, and grace. These qualities ripple into our relationships, creating harmony and trust that echo back into our own lives. The role of self-karma. We often think of karma as something that involves what we do to others, but how we treat ourselves plays a major role too. This is known as self-karma, the internal consequences of our self-talk, self-respect, and self-care. If you constantly belittle yourself, suppress your needs, or neglect your well-being, you're creating cycles of inner suffering. But when you nurture yourself, speak kindly to yourself, and set boundaries rooted in love, you build positive self-karma. You begin to attract experiences and people who reflect the value you've claimed for yourself. Think of self-karma as the foundation of all other karma. The energy you cultivate within spills into every choice you make and every relationship you build. Ultimately, compassion and forgiveness are not just moral ideals, they are karmic tools, They break cycles, open hearts, and guide us back to our true selves. When we approach life with empathy and grace, we become conscious creators of our destiny, not just passengers on the ride. Chapter 7. Karma and Personal Responsibility. If karma is the echo of your actions, then personal responsibility is the voice that creates that echo. Every decision we make, every word we speak, every emotion we entertain, all of it sends energy into the world. That energy doesn't disappear. It circles back, shaping our experiences in ways we sometimes don't recognize until much later. The foundation of the law of karma is not punishment or reward, it's awareness. And with awareness comes the power to choose differently. Taking responsibility for your actions. To truly understand karma, we must first accept that we are responsible for our own lives. It's easy to point fingers when things go wrong. It's much harder to pause and ask, what did I contribute to this situation? That doesn't mean we are always to blame when bad things happen. Life is complex. But it does mean that we have to take ownership of how we react and how we grow from our experiences. Personal responsibility isn't about guilt. It's about growth. When you own your actions, you claim the power to shape your path. You recognize that you're not just reacting to life, you're co-creating it. Empowerment through karma. Karma isn't fate. It doesn't mean your life is predetermined. In fact, understanding karma can be incredibly empowering. It reminds us that we are not helpless. The choices we make right now are creating the life we will live tomorrow. When you become conscious of your intentions, your words, your behavior, you begin to make choices that reflect your highest values. That awareness is empowering. It helps you break harmful patterns and build a future aligned with your true self. Karma gives us the tools to ask better questions. Is this action aligned with who I want to become? Will this create peace or conflict? Healing or harm? These are the moments where karma becomes a compass, gently guiding you toward wiser, kinder decisions. The illusion of blame. Blame is a seductive escape. It allows us to avoid discomfort and delay accountability. When we blame others for our unhappiness, we give away our power. We convince ourselves that someone else must change before we can be okay. But here's the truth. Blame keeps us stuck. It focuses our energy on what we can't control instead of what we can. The law of karma invites us to turn inward, not to blame ourselves, but to examine ourselves. What patterns are repeating in our lives? What lessons are trying to reveal themselves through our struggles? By shifting from blame to self-awareness, we stop being victims of life and become students of it. Every challenge becomes a teacher, and every mistake becomes a stepping stone. Living with integrity. Integrity is the alignment of your values, your words, and your actions. When you live with integrity, you're no longer divided within yourself. You're not saying one thing and doing another. You're consistent, honest, and grounded, and that creates powerful, positive karma. Living with integrity doesn't mean being perfect. It means being real. It means choosing honesty even when it's hard, kindness even when you're frustrated, and responsibility even when it's tempting to walk away. It's a daily practice, not a one-time achievement. And the beauty of karma is that integrity builds trust, not just with others, but with yourself. You begin to trust your inner guidance, your decisions, your growth. That inner alignment becomes a magnet for peace and purpose. Karma isn't about control, it's about consciousness. The more aware you become of your impact, the more intentional your life becomes. And with that intention, you start to live not from reaction, but from wisdom. Chapter 8. The Karmic Laws of the Universe. At the heart of the law of karma lies a deeper truth. We live in a universe governed by natural laws, cosmic, principles that ensure order, harmony, and balance. These laws are not written in books or carved in stone, yet they are as real and constant as gravity. They guide the unseen threads of cause and effect, linking our inner world with the outer one. Understanding these karmic laws allows us to align our lives with a greater flow, making our actions not just meaningful but transformative. The law of universal balance. The universe, in its vastness, is always seeking equilibrium. Whether it's in nature, emotions, or energy, there's a subtle intelligence that balances everything over time. When a storm rages, the calm that follows is nature restoring itself. Similarly, when we act out of harmony, with greed, anger, or ego, the universe gently or sometimes firmly nudges things back into place. This is not about punishment, but realignment. If we hurt someone, that energy must find a way to balance, either through an apology, a lesson, or a mirrored experience. The law of universal balance reminds us that everything we send out, thoughts, words, deeds, will find its way back. Not to harm us, but to teach us. The law of reciprocity. Have you ever noticed how kindness tends to return in unexpected ways? That's the law of reciprocity in action. It says that what we offer to the world, be it generosity, judgment, love, or resentment, eventually returns to us, often magnified. This doesn't mean we give just to receive, but that we understand we are part of a dynamic exchange with life. This law teaches us to be intentional with what we give. If you want more peace, offer peace to others. If you desire respect, practice respecting others. Reciprocity isn't always immediate or obvious, but it's always at work, silently threading our lives with karmic feedback. The law of action and reaction. Physics teaches us that every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Karma operates on the same principle. What we do creates ripples, and those ripples eventually return. But unlike in physics, where reactions are instant, karmic reactions may take time to surface. They might show up days, years, or even lifetimes later. This law encourages us to act with awareness. Before speaking harshly, we pause. Before making choices from fear, we reflect. Every step we take is a seed planted into the soil of the universe. Whether it grows into flowers or thorns depends on the energy we infused into it. The law of reflection. One of the most humbling and enlightening karmic laws is the law of reflection. It suggests that the world we experience is often a mirror of our inner landscape. If we constantly encounter conflict, it may reflect unresolved anger or fear within. If we notice love and support around us, perhaps it's mirroring our own open-heartedness. This law invites deep self-inquiry. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" we start asking, "What part of me is being shown through this experience?" Life becomes a classroom, and every interaction a lesson. Reflection helps us grow in empathy, humility, and emotional maturity. When we begin to live with an awareness of these laws, karma stops being something to fear. It becomes a guide. A wise, silent teacher reminding us that every thought and action carries weight, not in a burdensome way, but in a purposeful one. We become more mindful, more accountable, and ultimately more free. Chapter 9. Karma in Modern Life. In today's fast-paced, hyper-connected world, karma still flows, though the ways in which it moves have evolved. Modern life, with its screens, social platforms, and global networks, gives our thoughts and actions more reach than ever before. Each word we type, each choice we make, ripples outward, touching lives and shaping outcomes. Karma is no longer confined to physical actions alone. It's now deeply intertwined with the digital, environmental, economic, and social spheres. Karma. In the digital age, we live much of our lives online, posting, commenting, sharing, reacting. Every digital interaction carries energy and intent. A single negative comment can cause emotional harm. A kind message can uplift a stranger's day. This is digital karma. Just because our words travel through screens doesn't mean they lose their karmic power. The digital world is real, and so are its consequences. Before hitting send or post, it's worth asking, is this contributing to harmony or division? Our online presence is an extension of our energy, and the karma we generate there is just as impactful as our offline behavior. Environmental karma. Every plastic bottle we toss, every tree we cut, every resource we waste, it all adds to our environmental karma. We're not just individuals acting in isolation, we're stewards of a shared planet. The collective consequences of pollution, deforestation, and climate change are examples of humanity's shared karma returning. When we act consciously, recycling, conserving water, reducing waste, we're participating in healing. These seemingly small choices help restore balance not just for ourselves, but for future generations. Karma teaches us that we are deeply interconnected with the earth and all living beings. Karma in business and success. Business, the law of karma, operates quietly but firmly. Success built on honesty, fairness, and service tends to be more enduring. Conversely, when profit comes at the cost of integrity or exploitation, the consequences eventually surface, sometimes in the form of legal troubles, reputational loss, or internal dissatisfaction. Business ethics are a karmic choice. Whether we're employees, entrepreneurs, or leaders, how we treat clients, co-workers, and competitors shapes our journey. Acts of generosity, fairness, and accountability create a foundation of positive karma that supports long-term success. Social justice and karma also plays out on a collective level. Societies that ignore justice, equality, or human rights often face unrest, division, or decline. Inequities left unaddressed accumulate karmic weight over time, demanding eventual correction. Movements for social justice, like those advocating for racial equality, gender rights, or climate action, are attempts to balance historical and societal karma. Every voice raised in truth, every hand extended in compassion, contributes to a more harmonious world. Karma is not bound by time or tradition. It adapts. In this modern age, it follows us wherever we go, reminding us that even in a complex world, every choice matters. Chapter 10. The Path to Good Karma. Good karma doesn't happen by accident. It is a conscious path paved with intention, awareness, and everyday choices. When we live mindfully, we plant the seeds for a life rooted in peace, connection, and balance. The beauty of karma is that it's always in motion, and that means we always have the power to redirect it, starting now. Cultivating good karma through mindful living. Mindfulness is at the heart of generating good karma. It means being fully present, aware of your surroundings, your feelings, your reactions. Instead of acting on autopilot, you pause, reflect, and choose actions that are compassionate and wise. Small decisions, how you greet someone, how you respond to a challenge, can create ripples of positivity when made consciously. When we bring mindfulness into our routines, how we eat, work, speak, and rest, we begin to align ourselves with a life of intention. And where intention goes, karma follows. Actions, words, and thoughts. Karma is not only about what we do, but also about what we think and say. Negative self-talk, judgmental thoughts, or hurtful words carry energy. Over time, these build our karmic imprint. Likewise, kind thoughts, encouraging words, and helpful actions cultivate a reservoir of good karma. It's helpful to remember, thoughts shape your inner reality, words shape your relationships, actions shape your world. When these three are in harmony, rooted in awareness and kindness, the karmic path becomes clearer and more peaceful. Spiritual practices to enhance karma. Spiritual practices help us quiet the noise and tune into a higher awareness. Practices like meditation, prayer, or even mindful breathing bring us back to the present moment. They help us witness our thoughts without judgment and respond to life with grace instead of reactivity. Meditation, in particular, allows us to observe the patterns that influence our actions. Over time, it helps us respond more thoughtfully and compassionately. Prayer, gratitude journaling, or acts of service are also powerful tools. They create vibrations that extend far beyond the moment, creating positive habits. Good karma is built one habit at a time. Start small. Begin your day with a few minutes of silence or gratitude. Set intentions before speaking in emotionally charged situations. Choose kindness, especially when it's not easy. Offer help without expecting anything in return. Consistency is key. These small acts may seem insignificant in the moment, but their karmic weight builds over time, shaping your experiences in ways you might not immediately see. Walking the path of good karma doesn't require perfection. It simply asks for presence, purpose and a willingness to grow. Every conscious step you take is a step toward a more harmonious, meaningful life. Chapter 11. Navigating Negative Karma. We all carry some form of negative karma, mistakes, regrets, or harmful choices that echo through our lives. The beauty of the law of karma is that it is not about punishment, it's about balance and growth. Understanding negative karma isn't about blaming yourself or others. It's about recognizing the patterns and choosing a better way forward. Understanding negative karma. Negative karma is the residue of actions, thoughts, or intentions that cause harm, either to ourselves or others. It can manifest in many ways: repeated challenges, difficult relationships, inner turmoil, or unexplainable misfortunes. Often, it shows up as life nudging us to pay attention, learn, and evolve. It's not there to punish, but to guide. Every tough experience contains a lesson, and that lesson is the key to transformation. Transforming negative karma. The first step to transforming negative karma is self-reflection. This means taking an honest look at our behaviors, reactions, and intentions. What patterns keep repeating? What actions are we ashamed of or wish we had done differently? Transformation begins when we stop running from these questions and start learning from them. Once we see clearly, we can take corrective action, apologizing, making amends, changing behaviors, or even simply choosing differently next time. Healing negative karma is about progress, not perfection. Every choice we make with awareness chips away at the weight of the past, breaking the cycle. Often, negative karma becomes cyclical. We repeat harmful patterns without even realizing it. This cycle can only be broken through conscious living. By staying present, recognizing our triggers, and responding instead of reacting, we create space for change. Forgiveness is another powerful key. Holding on to resentment, whether toward others or ourselves, keeps us tied to negative karmic loops. Forgiving doesn't mean condoning wrongs, it means releasing their hold on our energy. By forgiving, we allow healing and move forward, lighter and freer. The power of redemption. One of the most beautiful truths about karma is its openness to redemption. No matter how heavy our past, we are never beyond repair. Life constantly offers us chances to choose again, to create new patterns, to respond with love instead of anger, to give instead of take. Even individuals with deep karmic debts can turn their lives around through sincere effort, humility, and love. Redemption isn't about erasing the past, it's about writing a new chapter from today onward. The universe always responds to honest change. Navigating negative karma is not about fear or guilt, it's about courage, choice, and hope. Every moment offers a new beginning. What you choose today becomes the karma of your tomorrow. Chapter 12. The Echo of Your Actions. Living in Harmony with Karma. Karma isn't just a law that reacts to our deeds. It's a living, breathing rhythm that connects our intentions, choices, and energy to the larger flow of life. Living in alignment with the law of karma means becoming aware of this rhythm and choosing to dance with it rather than fight against it. It's not about perfection, it's about presence. Every word, every action, every thought creates a ripple, and those ripples return, living in alignment with the law of karma. To live in harmony with karma is to take full responsibility for our actions. This doesn't mean blaming ourselves harshly. It means being honest about how our behavior affects ourselves and others. When we understand that our choices carry weight, we naturally begin to live more thoughtfully. We pause before reacting, speak with kindness, and act with integrity. By staying grounded in this awareness, we not only avoid creating unnecessary harm, but we also generate positive energy that circles back to us in beautiful ways. The eternal echo. Karma is not confined to one moment or even one lifetime. It is an eternal echo, weaving through the timeline of our soul's journey. What we do today may return to us years from now, or in another chapter of existence altogether. This doesn't mean we should live in fear of making mistakes, but rather live with the understanding that all our actions matter. Every small act of kindness, every moment of patience, every effort to grow spiritually leaves an imprint. This perspective encourages us to make choices that not only benefit us, now but uplift our long-term spiritual evolution, living with awareness. At the heart of karma is conscious living. This means we choose to be present, not lost in automatic reactions, but awake to the now. It means asking ourselves, is this action coming from love or fear? Is this choice adding to the good in the world or taking away from it? By bringing mindfulness into our daily lives, whether in how we interact with others, care for the environment, or even treat ourselves, we become active participants in shaping our karmic path. We become the creators of our own energy. Closing thoughts. Karma as a pathway, not a sentence. Karma is not about reward or punishment. It's about growth. It is life showing us the effects of our energy, gently guiding us toward better choices. It's the universe's way of helping us remember who we truly are and what we're capable of becoming. When we stop seeing karma as a ledger of good and bad deeds and start seeing it as a teacher, life opens up in new ways. We stop fearing consequences and start embracing opportunities to grow, forgive, heal, and love more deeply. Your actions are your echo in the universe. When you live with love, awareness, and responsibility, that echo becomes a song that returns to you in beautiful ways. Karma is not fate, it's your power. Use it wisely. Conclusion. Throughout this journey, we've explored the powerful and deeply interconnected nature of karma, the universal law that reminds us every thought, word, and action creates a ripple that eventually returns. From understanding the roots of karma to navigating its role in relationships, modern life, and our spiritual growth, we've seen that karma is not merely a system of reward and punishment. Rather, it's a mirror, a teacher, and a guide that reflects who we are and who we're becoming. At its core, the law of karma is about conscious living. It invites us to take responsibility for our actions and recognize the energy we bring into the world. When we choose compassion over judgment, forgiveness over resentment, and integrity over convenience, we align ourselves with positive karma. This alignment isn't just for spiritual benefit, it leads to a more peaceful, fulfilling, and balanced life. Understanding karma empowers us. It gives us the tools to transform negative patterns, heal old wounds, and build a future rooted in love, wisdom, and clarity. The more we understand how our actions shape our reality, the more intentional we become in shaping a reality we truly desire. This book is not an ending, it's an invitation to live with awareness, to act with kindness, and to choose every day as an opportunity to create good karma. Each moment is a chance to write a new karmic story, not only for ourselves, but for the world we share. So, take a breath, reflect, and move forward with the quiet strength of someone who knows that their actions matter. Because they do. The echo of your actions will return. Make it a sound that heals, uplifts, and inspires. Thank you for listening to this audiobook. If you enjoyed this book, please consider sharing it and subscribing to this channel to access more engaging audiobooks.